Well, I got the seats back. He welded it all the way across instead of 3 little tacks. Tried to stay out of this hole, he said, because, the risk of fire is incredible. This stuff goes up, he said, like a tinderbox. So that's the word he used. Anyway, we molded this to the back on both sides, so I can slip the cover back over. The reclining mechanism wasn't working it doesn't work until I sit in it, and I've inspected everything really thoroughly, and I can see where it's supposed to work, etc. And it reclines forward when I'm not sitting in it, but it won't recline backwards until I'm sitting in it. The second I sit in it, it reclines backwards, but there's no clicking or no odd-sounding stuff like something's about to snap. And I inspected all the little tacks and everything else in here. Everything's in place. This is not sheared off where the actual mechanism for reclining is joined on both sides. This side's totally fine, but I think we had this little pin on this arm. When you pull the reclining arm lever, there's a tab that goes inward into this, or into the mechanism itself, that activates this coil that engages it and allows it to come back off of the thing, which that's just for resistance, so that it actually comes back forward. Everything's intact there as well, so seems to be fine. It's just I got to be careful with it and try and recline it as little as possible. If I end up having to take it apart, I'm a little more confident now, so that's it. He's repaired it. Got the padding in here for the bolster all the way to the back, and it's seamed in with sealer, so it's not the prettiest, but it'll work for now. And like I said, I could get it apart pretty quickly now to redo it or think of something else. I don't have time really to go through the Acura seat repair video or whatever that was, so that'll have to do. But for now, the info that the welds went well is good info, and I'm happy about that. So we will see. I also used this 92 chair to look over everything. I was about to see if I might have to take off the mechanism when I sat down in this one, just to look at it, and reclined, and it reclined fine. So this mechanism still works. It brings the seat up, so I like it all the way down. Otherwise, it's cutting into your, I guess the hamstring it would be. So anyway, that's that for now. It's all in one piece. Hopefully it'll work. I used some firm, like 4-ply cardboard from an LCE kit I got, I think it was, or rock maybe. Oh no, made in Japan. So that's the Nippon gasket thing. To put behind the springs, because they're cutting not through, but cutting into my back a little bit. So again, I'll just reach up and remove that if I have to. But I think the majority of the reason it was doing that is because it had sheared away here, and it was reclining past the point it was supposed to, and really, but the springs don't move. This part moves back, but the springs don't. In the rear, these. So they dig in, so it should help. I mean, it'll just mold around the springs a little bit and should help. The one thing I like about the second gen seats, I couldn't stand the comfort, but I did enjoy. I mean, I did like the back pocket. So I thought about that, but you know what? It's not even. I don't need it. I have those, hang over the back of the chair type things, and I have Camry headrests. I guess you would call it the first generation Camrys, up to 91 or something like that. Fit right into these. I'm not sure on any later models, but they're nice, and they're constructed much better, if you notice, in a lot of our first gen 4Runner seats, and maybe second too. the foam starts falling out of the headrest. Mine's down to the frame where I can just, bam, you know, very firm, very hard. Just the frame part of it, all the foam had fallen out. It keeps falling. It kept falling down on the seat, and it's a mess, you know. So I'm going to try and put this back together. Believe it or not, it's a bit of a bear. These are the hooks. I tried to leave them in. One of them just fell out, but I'll put it back in. That will be going around this portion, and this is the part that I'm a little concerned about. These have to go through and actually go through these hoops right here, and then they travel down here, and I lost one already. They travel down here and through these. So I'm gonna, these, I thought they were into some metal or something, but they're just into the foam. It's odd. I guess it just kind of binds them together, so I'll pinch them a little tighter, see if that works. Otherwise the seat will, you know, pull back up, the cover will pull back up, I'm assuming. So I'm going to do my best. Alright? Thanks guys, I appreciate it. Hope this is all worth it. Later.